Okay, so we're gonna jump into a few more plays from the gun tight Y off week in the Tampa Bay playbook. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the play post wheel drag. Definitely one of my favorites to beat zone coverage. It does a decent job against man. We'll go ahead and just show both in this video. Call post wheel drag, and let's just call. I guess we just go cover zero, right? Because that's what everybody's running. So, cover zero. I'm going to just spy these guys. The play stock looks like this. So you have the tight end route that's not going to get pressed. You have the wheel route, post route combo, which they'll sometimes rub and they'll get one another open, but it's not super consistent. And you have this late in route from the backside receiver. Now, I typically, if I'm facing cover zero, I'm at least blocking the halfback minimum. So we're going to block the halfback here. So let's go ahead and look through the routes that got open. And, oops, did not mean to hit that. Go ahead and hit start instead. So the problem with blocking the halfback is this center fielder, this safety, this safety drops back to play center field. Right, because he no longer has a man to cover. The other safety is playing the tight end, so now it makes the prospect of this throw a little bit more scary because there's a guy in the vicinity. It's not like you can't throw that ball, but if you don't put the correct pass lead on it and you leave it up there too long, this guy can come over and make a play. Now, the other route I want to talk about is wheel route. This wheel route will never get pressed, which is nice. But then how do we utilize that, right? We have to figure out a way, how do we utilize a non-pressed wheel route where there's definitely separation here. So there's space to fit this ball in. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few different types of passes. I'm just going to press here and I'm just going to block that back. So the first one is just free form to the outside, right? As soon as he gets right there, that's tough, right? That's not going to work. So what do? We maybe wait till he flips his hips. And this is kind of the progression that I went through with learning how to throw this ball, right? Let's wait till the safety flips his hips so he can't square up and make a turn on that. Flips his hips now. Okay, we have sort of like a little fade route, right? That's pretty solid. I feel like somebody can click on and maybe still make a play there. So maybe the safest pass is a high ball as soon as he makes his break. And then you get into the knockouts and all that stuff. And I feel like it's a throw that you can't live on, but you can show once in a while. And then you get non-animations like that, and that'll lead to interception. That was actually the perfect ball placement. Back shoulder throw. It was high and away. Only the receiver, the receiver can easily cut this off, right? There's no reason he shouldn't have animated here. I know it's a white guy, but white men can jump. I promise you. I've seen him do it. Oops, did not mean to hit that. Sorry about that. So we're going to go ahead and press one more time. And this is like something you really have to get in the lab and practice. And unfortunately, like when you're in game, if you don't have the mental, not the mental reps, but you don't have there you go, the muscle memory down, this is where it gets frustrating because you're like, oh, it's not working for me. You got to just keep doing this over and over and over and over again. And you threw it too early right there. See, I'm out of practice because I don't typically run shotgun. But if you don't wait till he flips his hips like that, he's gonna be able to pick it off. So if I wait a little bit longer, flips his hips, now we got it. All right. It's a timing thing, muscle memory. But the point is, there's a couple routes that can beat man in this. It's not the best man beating play by any means, but it does attack a different area of the field than our other play. If you've watched the previous video for this formation, the previous video has that C route that attacks the left side, and having that post mixed in makes it a little bit harder for our opponent to key in on where the ball is going to go. So if he had to say he was playing cover one and his solution was to take the deep third safety and purple him over on the left side, well, now we have the post. Going to get wide open across the middle of the field. So let's just take a look at this against zone coverage. Zone coverage, you can do so many different things against zone coverage, but I really love this against like a cover three, really any zone, but cover three it really shines. So you can just leave the play stock. You can kind of crisscross them here. Could do something like this. I like doing this because it'll open up that this right side route a little bit faster. It'll take that flat zone away, and then you just kind of read where the user goes. But you know your main route is this X route. Probably throw it a little bit later than that. I got a little bit trigger happy there. Let's go ahead and look at all these routes. So obviously you have your short routes. If they're not playing hard flats, you know, you have these two routes. A lot of times they'll be paying attention to this side of the field more so than the right side of the field. So this, don't forget about this tight end. You can see that this dig route gets open right here. There's this window, this big gap of space where you attack with the post route. Now, the wheel route, do not throw this against cover three. Even though it looks like you can put like a precision on this, maybe 10% of the time it works. The other 90% of the time, it's probably going to be an interception. So just go ahead and that's exactly what you get. And that was extremely lucky. That should not have been completed. So don't try to throw that against zone coverage. You're going to put yourself into a bit of an issue. But other than that, guys, I mean, if you really, really need to get this post route open deep, and you don't want the wheel route, just go ahead and do this. It'll run off the middle third, block your halfback because you know you're going to need more time. So these two routes on the left will clear out the middle zones and the user for these two routes to really get open. So just imagine for a second if I did this. Let's pretend I'm going to simulate this being my user. I'm going to man him up on X. And I'm going to run that same route combination. Now the middle of the field is vacated. And that was a poor throw, but you guys get the point. It's all about moving the user, moving the zones, where having high-low reads. That's what's really important against zone coverage. And this really applies to cover two as well. I'm not going to go over cover two. It's all zone coverage. It's similar concepts. The only thing that's different is that against cover two, the wheel route will eventually get open. And actually, let's just show that. Can I show it? Tampa 2. Okay. It takes a little while to get open, so you better have a little bit of time. As you can see, I'm about to get sacked. But the wheel route, yeah, that's tough. That's scary to even try to throw. But if they're playing hard flats, it'll get open a little bit quicker. But I don't really look to that route too much. I look to the stuff over the middle of the field. Again, because we can't really motion guys out, it would be ideal to be able to motion this out to get, you know. You guys get the point. I'm kind of beating the dead horse right here, but that's how you would beat zone. That's how you'll beat man from this play. That's another, play to add to your bag from this formation.